Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first career speaker series of the 2021-2022 academic year. Yay. My name is Claude. I am the outreach coordinator and advisor for the Computer Information Technology and Cloud Computing programs here at Delgado Community College and the host of this event. Today is a very special edition of the Career Speaker Series. I am joined by Ms. Krystal James and Mr. Kelvin Gipson of Delgado's Workforce Development Unit, and they are wonderful people, and they're going to talk to us today about IT certifications. But before we get started on certs, I just want to let everyone know, what exactly this is and go over a few ground rules. So for those who are new, never been here before, first time at Delgado or first time ever clicking on a Career Speaker Series link, this is our monthly series of guest presentations from industry professionals in the IT and related fields to talk about usually what it is they do or how they got there and how you can too. And this special edition is all about that how you can too portion with certifications. We put on these events usually just to demystify the tech careers, the tech opportunities, really what's out there in the world for all of our students, faculty, and staff at Delgado, as well as for members of the community, because technology is all around us. We're doing it right now over Zoom. So again, like I said, for this special edition, we'll be focusing on certification. So our format will be a little different once these introductions are over than how it usually is. I will begin by asking our guests some questions, see where organically that'll lead. They will be obviously their informative and wonderful selves. And then we will open the floor up to Q&A from the audience, so you guys, so you can ask all your questions as well. In the meantime, before that Q&A portion, I'm asking everyone to please mute themselves, which looks like everyone has done. Fantastic. Yeah, please mute yourselves until the open floor Q&A, or feel free to drop your questions into the chat and I will get them to our speakers. And finally, if you are having fun today, we encourage anyone watching to shout out about it on social media with the hashtag #TheOtherCSS, and be sure to @ us at Delgado IT Pro on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And Workforce, you guys have an online presence on, is it Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook?
Absolutely. Right? And it is Tech Made Easy, hashtag Tech Made Easy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And now I am done all my introductions. So let's get started. Welcome, Krystal and Kelvin. So tell us, what's y'all's roles here at Delgado?
Sure, I'll start. My role is IT Program Director for Workforce. And so part of what we do is offer certification courses in the IT field. These are courses that range from 4 weeks to 13 weeks, where someone can quickly take a course and get certified and go into the job market as soon as possible. And I'll pass it to Ms. Krystal.
Krystal James, I'm the Strategic Initiatives Coordinator in Workforce, and Kelvin's Assistant Coordinator, assistant in the IT section or department. We're still deciding that, Workforce IT. And we are a program that is on a different side of the house of Delgado, where you're used to the academic side. But as Kelvin said, these are shorter courses that end in industry-based certifications. And so my role is to coordinate the classes as an administrator, recruit, and source the right pathways to the jobs that are available here in New Orleans. And so we have several programs, and I'll wait till the next question to go through the different programs we have.
Totally. So, and how long have both of y'all been at Delgado? Because I think Kelvin, I think you had been here when someone else and now are back with us.
Yes, I started Delgado 2011. I left in 2015. At the time, I was director of the Goldman Sachs Natal Small Business Program. Came back this year, January, to work with Krystal to build out this IT department in Workforce.
And I came in June of 2019 I applied specifically for this strategic initiatives position around what was called at the time a DXC grant. And I don't know how many of you have heard of DXC, but it's a company that relocated to New Orleans and as a result got a significant amount of tax incentives and abatements to come as an economic development incentive. And when they got that incentive, they were put on the hook to hire Louisiana natives in professional positions to the tune of quite a big number in 5 years. And looking at the availability of professionals, it was determined there's a skills gap. And from that determination, there was a 7-college partnership developed and funded by LED to offer tech training to help people switch careers into tech, to help them hire. So I don't know how many of you all follow the tech industry, but one of the big trends is often they will import from tech heavy spaces. So they may move to Texas or to Louisiana, but be bringing people from California or maybe even Asia, right? And what we would like is for them to hire Native Americans who need jobs here. And for that, it requires some retraining and some upskilling.
So on the idea of skills gap and upskilling, so is that why the Tech Pathways program exists now with Workforce? Can you tell us more about the new Tech Pathways program?
Oh, okay. So yes, I like the name Tech Pathways, but let me tell you where it came from. That's our email address. I was like,
yeah, that's why I'm like Tech Pathways. I know that's what whatever I see when y'all send the emails out, that's what the Tech Pathways. I'm like, is that the
it's
new
actually
program?
a good nomer for it. So yes, I would call it our Tech Pathways, or I call it, our fundamentals course or program. We've determined 4 courses that will start someone in a career in IT. And Claude, that's an excellent way. It is a pathway. And the first 4 courses, and we're going to go over that, are IT fundamentals, IT networking, IT cybersecurity, and then some sort of cloud course. Right now we do AWS Cloud Foundations, but at any point that could be Microsoft Azure, it could be CompTIA's new cloud certification where they take a blend of all the companies and just introduce you to cloud computing. So those are our fundamental courses right now, but very quickly, we're going to add a couple more pathways, gaming, and we are looking on the horizon at drones as well.
I guess that'd be a good pathway to the question, a good segue pathway to the question of certifications. So what are they? Why are they important? And are those classes aligned to them?
Go ahead, start, Krystal, and I'll chime in after you finish.
Okay. Yes, and yes. Certifications. So I just did a white paper for a different organization on this. Currently, the trend, and it's moving away from this, is that in order to be prepared for a profession, we've all been told to go to college, get the degree. And certainly that is a pathway into a lot of professions. What tech companies will tell you is a degree is great, but what they are looking for is proof that you know a certain skill. That's all a certification is. It is saying that an industry standard like CompTIA or Scaled Agile Framework or Microsoft or Google, those are all certifying agencies, that the expert in the field has tested you and says you know what you're doing. That's a certification. And usually, often, all the time, they're going to be shorter than a degree because it's not well-rounded. You don't take several courses like arts and humanities and then a PE and a blah, blah, and then have your major in there. You start and end with what it is you want to do, specifically and only, which has drawbacks and strengths, right? So someone looking to switch careers that already has a degree certainly doesn't want to get another one. Someone who may not have the time to spend 2 or 4 years in school, but needs to start earning, maybe looking at short-term certificates. And again, the tech industry for quite some time has been has valued industry-based certifications as much or maybe even more than traditional degrees. The tech industry has done that. And Kelvin, I'm going to toss to you to elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, and so like Krystal mentioned, it is short term, and so it's specific to the industry, and that's what a lot of tech companies are looking for. They're looking for people that can be disciplined enough to go through a certification process. The certifications, it provides a status that you prove that you have the knowledge in the respective field, and it gives the employers a benchmark that for the employees that they're looking for. Most times we find out that certification can lead to a better paying job, a higher position within the company that you're working currently, and it gives you the recognition and also of your peers, and it shows that you're committed to being serious about the industry that you're in. So it doesn't matter what path you take. All our courses are, like Krystal mentioned, there's certification tests after them, which is included in the cost of our courses. And so it gives you to a career pathway as a baseline starting off, and then from there you branch off to where you want to take your career. And I'll talk a little bit, and Claude, I'll just talk a little bit about my career. My undergrad is in accounting, but ironically, my first job was in the tech industry. At the time, it was servicing Nobel Network LAN supports, and also as a computer operator, working on a AS400 using DOS, which is now correlated with SQL. And so it's developed over the years and learning those programs. But I knew that technology would always be there, and so I stayed in tech for a number of years and continue that path to where I am now.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And since we mentioned certifications and that you get vouchers at the end to take the certification exams with your classes, would you like me to pop up the CompTIA roadmap pathway and kind of take everyone through, what someone would be doing?
Sure. Well, yeah, let's do that. And then I do want to talk about some myths about IT, because Kelvin brought up some good points. There's some reasons my career is very different, and then I avoided all things IT because I thought some things about it. But let's go through certifications and then maybe come back to that, because I wonder if anyone else is intimidated by tech. So if you notice, I said that there are 4 basic courses that you would take for certifications, and then we'll talk about branching out. Here is as you see, there's 2 pathways here: cybersecurity and infrastructure or server stuff. See, this is how techy I am stuff. It has the 4 basic courses here as IT fundamentals, which is just the basics. If you don't have any tech experience, I would encourage you to look at the pre-test or look at what that's about. A lot of you who have grown up in this digital age, millennials, you know a lot more than you think about tech, and you may or may not need the fundamentals piece. A+ is one that we alternate and offer either fundamentals plus or A+, and that it is looks at your ability or knowledge of hardware and software. So it really gets you ready for networking. And there are still a significant amount of companies, I don't know, Kelvin or maybe Claude, I still think there's a lot of companies that use physical hardware, and not everyone's not in the cloud yet. Couldn't be. I know healthcare has got to be famous for still having a lot of physical servers. So there's still some use for that. I'll let anyone else elaborate on that.
Yeah, there's many industries. I know the staffing industry, and even some of the IT firms, there's physical servers, which backs up to the cloud. So there's many companies where they still have the large rooms with the servers in there with the air conditioning. So servers aren't going away, physical presence for a while, but they do back up to the cloud.
Okay. And then networking is, how do these servers talk to one another, right? How does everything talk, or how does everyone's computer talk? That's how I understand Network Plus. And then Security Plus is the one I get the most calls about. People hear about tech and they want to go into cybersecurity, and off of that career is around, minimizing threats to agencies. Of course, you hear about the ethical hackers, the pen testers, and people that set up systems, and then people that test them and audit them as well. That's a new career that I heard about in our last Tech Talk Thursday, where we talked to an expert in cybersecurity. And there's a lot of promise in conducting security audits to show companies where they're weak and where they're vulnerable and how they can, what kind of tools or extra training or processes they need to put in place to be secure. And so, as I said, for us, if you look at the bottom where it says Cloud Essentials, that is CompTIA's newest course, actually. And they have looked at the knowledge or acumen, it says, to make informed cloud service decisions. So what they've done is taken the brand name off, and they're looking at just cloud computing. The course we offer right now is Amazon Web Services, and this might be a reference not many of you will get, some of you will. AWS Cloud and Microsoft Azure are the biggest two competitors right now. I don't know if they'll both stay around or if one will pull out the other. My money's on AWS, which is why, I mean, Amazon takes over everything in my opinion, but that's why we offer Amazon now. And it's a lot like, I think, the VHS and the beta battle in the 80s, which I think that's like might be a horrible reference for this crowd, but VHS versus beta. Claude, do you even know what VHS versus beta was?
Yeah, I know. I was a kid in the 90s.
You saw it in a museum? Well, what happened was the industry, the market decided, and you had what went on to VHS and videotapes, and beta kind of went the way of the dodo. Don't know if that's going to happen. Microsoft and Amazon are both really big. What I will tell you in tech that I've heard is when you come onto a consulting firm, for sure, like a DXC, a firm that provides solutions for multiple clients, they're looking for people who have knowledge of both platforms, because you may get a client one project and they are Microsoft, and you may get a client another time that's Amazon, and you may get a client that has both in their environment. So they're looking for people that can learn quickly and either know or can learn both. So those are our first four fundamental ones, and then let's go to the career paths. So I want to talk a little bit about myths first. I always thought that I stayed away from tech because I thought I wasn't good in science and math. Well, I'm not good in science and math. Kelvin can tell you I'm not good in math for sure. But these professions don't require that. I mean, you would need more math. Well, you need all the math knowledge in accounting, but they have different skill sets. And a lot of it is learning the equivalent of learning a new language. And if you can learn a language, you can code. If you have ideas on how to, if you can think creatively, and I'm going to toss to Kelvin after this for design thinking, but truly what the tech industry, what I can see it requires now are people that can think creatively about solutions for clients and how to use tech tools to solve those problems. So you may have a pizza company that has all these orders and they're trying to figure out what tool they need to triage and get the pizzas out and assign the orders to the drivers in the right geo atmosphere. I'm making something up, but you have business cases. And so these cases are not just computers that are the answer or apps that are the answer or different software, but thinking about the processes that are needed to be put in place to use those tools. So that would have given me a lot more confidence about pursuing a career in tech, because I knew that it was high paying. I knew I liked the corporate atmosphere and the people that I saw in tech, but I thought never in a million years. I don't know. I just thought of people in rooms plugging in a bunch of computers and adding stuff up. I don't know what I thought the career was, but let's click on one. These are the 5 basic pathways in tech. Support specialists. So they're your desk help people. They are, let's click on it, Claude. They're your Google, your well, they are Google Help Desk, but they are your Best Buy Geek Squad people. They are the person, if those of you work at a company and I call my IT guy, that's an IT support specialist that knows how to fix things. Well, let's look at the median salary and let's click on learn more, because I think we'll get to the pathway, I hope. So what you'll find if you look at these careers on CompTIA's website, you can map out your whole career. And if to be an IT networking specialist, it's going to tell you what certifications you need. And CompTIA is generous enough to talk about theirs because they want you to pay for their certifications first. And you need to, and then they'll tell you the other ones. So let's scroll. If you wanted to become an IT support specialist, the first two certifications you would need are IT fundamentals and A+. So it's not really recommending Network Plus or security, I don't think. Let's look at step 2. ITIL, yes. And I've heard of this, but we don't offer it. But that is foundation management. There are 4 different levels. And there are a couple private schools that offer this in New Orleans. And then let's go to intermediate. So that'd be entry level. For entry level, you need 3 certifications. And I can tell you that IT Foundation Fundamentals here is a 5-week course. And many are certified, get jobs as a support specialist immediately. And then intermediate, let's scroll down and see what extra certifications you need. Well, there you get into Network Plus, Security Plus, because you may be advising people on those issues at a higher level. And then partner certifications. Here we get to Microsoft. And you want to know, they want you to know cloud platforms, that's Azure, Windows, SQL, and Microsoft 365 to be able to assist people in those areas. So the key is to know exactly what, or to look at what you want to do and start gathering those certifications. And a term that I've heard in tech is stacking. You want to stack your certifications so that you have the right combination to get jobs. And one of the things I do when people come see me is we can look at a couple job descriptions. At the bottom of the job description, it's going to tell you what certifications they want for it. I want to pause, I think. Well, Claude, can we pause for questions about CompTIA certifications, or did you want to wait till the end?
We can do whatever you want. Sure. We can open the floor up to questions.
Well, I know this is just the meat of really getting into tech. And I really want you all to be able to ask anything you'd like around certifications, and we'll try to answer it, because I don't want you to get off the call and be like, I think I learned something. I think I know the first step, but not sure what I need to do first if I'm thinking about this type of career. And then maybe Claude, you may talk, or maybe Kelvin, around how you might do the academic and workforce, how you might use both to build a career for some of you that are on the academic side.
So I can definitely talk about that, but we just got a question in the chat from Alexander asking, do any of these certifications align with software development, or are those 2 different pathways?
Let's go back to that CompTIA screen, because I think one of them is software development or DevOps.
Sure thing.
And it is not, we can find it.
Software.
There it is. Let's go to software and web. Oh, cool hair. Okay. Oh, look at that median salary. So let's go to software development. And let's scroll to the certifications required. So they're not even talking about A+, and the reason why they're not talking about A+ is because I remember I told you A+ is about physical computers. And with software, you're not servicing machines, you're developing software solutions. So you need to know fundamentals. Let's go to certification, the partner ones. Google Cloud, Red Hat. Yeah. And then Claude, if you want to talk a little bit about, do you all have a software development or app development pathway on the academic side?
So nothing called software development. So I have the programmer track as well as the web design track. The programmer track is basically teaching programming languages and databases. The web design track is teaching, it says web design, but it's design and development. I can say that, there are certifications out there. So for like, if you're learning Java, there's the Oracle certifications. A student could go and take and follow that pathway. For web designers, CIW, which I am blanking on what exactly that stands for, but they have basically everything on the web application track. JavaScript specialists, HTML and CSS for like web associates, web security. So there are pathways aligned for, programming and for web and for like software applications. I know that in general, when it comes to creating software and developing software, developing for the web, employers are a lot more like, please show us that you have a portfolio of work, which certifications, of course, are really great to be stacking up as well to show, hey, I have this under my belt. I know that the technology we're doing, I didn't just copy some project I found online and can do mimicry. You actually are like, no, I know what I'm doing. So even if you are going down a portfolio-based type of route, certifications are still really great to have under your belt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's important to talk about because Kelvin, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that Claude is CIW is certified internet webmaster. And so, guys, also, I put out a chat to everyone, and I want to congratulate Daniel for being astute and paying attention to the question. Daniel wins a free scholarship for one of our certified courses. And so, Daniel, if you can get with Claude, and we'll coordinate that for you. And there may be one more before we end this call. So pay attention to the chats. You may see something pop up where we may be offering something for you. All right. Thanks again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Claude brought up one of the most important pieces that we are trying to address on the workforce side. And I know, well, everyone is. One thing that employers will say in the tech industry for sure is all the school and all the certifications in the world are great. You've got to get some experience. But how do you get the experience when you don't have the certifications? And how do you get the certifications without it? What comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? Because you can get all the certifications and not have any experience. And when you have a job already, which many people do now when they're pursuing these certifications or school, it's very difficult to work in your current position, non-tech, while you pursue something in tech. But we are working on work experiences, and we have a couple on the workforce side. One is our summer tech camp, where we actually have a competition between teams, mock competition, solving a business case and looking at a solution. There are job fellowships, internships. One of the things that one of our employers has said is, unfortunately, but realistically, you may have to look at an unpaid experience in order to get some experience under your belt. I had one person come in last week who talked about having volunteered for a small business to build their website for free. But guess what? Now that they've gone to an employer, they can show a portfolio where they helped this small business build a website. So you may have to create some experiences in order to bulk up your resume. Because if you show up with just the course experience, they believe you know something, but they may or may not believe that you can do it and that you've done it.
And Krystal, if I can expand upon that, just this summer, we created a relationship with a large government entity that was looking for interns. And so we do have that. We have two local IT firms that we're working on as well to bring in Delgado students as interns. So it's a process, so don't give up on it. But we do have one solid connection that is always looking for IT interns. Some part of it is paid, some part is unpaid, depending on the need at the time. But don't discount that internship, because it can go a long ways once you do finish. You know, most employers are looking for the certification, looking for that experience, and they're also looking for your soft skills. It used to be a day where you can be a programmer and you can code and you sit in a closet by yourself and not interact with people, but those days are slowly fading. So again, work on your soft skills as well, along with whatever that you're looking to get certified in.
Krystal, I think you muted.
Anybody know what soft skills are? If somebody, well, I know this is kind of a webinar. Just to soft skills would be your public speaking or presentation skills. Another one would be your teamwork ability. How can you show that you function well in teams, working with other people to solve solutions? Another soft skill would be around, I'm sorry, guys, would be around time management. I'm working with some employees now that, unfortunately, while they may be very talented, if you can't be counted on to show up for work, that's an issue. So your habits, rituals, and routines are really important. There's another one I wanted to mention, but I got distracted.
And so while you're thinking about that, Krystal, so she mentioned communication and teamwork. And so many of the larger firms are going to the process of design thinking. Does anyone know what that is? You can chime in. Anyone want to take a stab at it?
Design thinking, like to come up with a design for a program?
Okay, that's partial, correct. Anyone else? All right, so it's design thinking is like a non-linear thinking process. So it's a process that helps users to understand what are the current challenges that a company is having without making too many assumptions. You know, you look to redefine any problems that the company or your client's having, and you create innovative solutions in a prototype to test and also get it out to market. So again, you're using the group format, in which is part of it is the Scrum Master thought process, where you're bringing a team together and going through the process of finding out what the challenges are, come up with the understanding that's needed, and create a solution to the problems, and then present that to your client. So that's the gist of design thinking. Do we have any more questions, Claude? Or
We actually
one now.
do from Robert Gabriel asking. Ooh, actually, I got a couple of questions now. Sorry, my screen refreshed. So one question is, Robert says he had started with Network Plus. He's on track to take Security Plus. Do you think someone who's taken Network and Security Plus, is it necessary for them to backtrack and take the A Plus? Or
Great question. Excellent question. Robert, if you don't mind, well, I'll just answer. If you took Network Plus, and did you actually get the certification? Did you test?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I took it in April.
Did you take it from us?
No, ma'am, I took it on.
Shame on you, Robert.
Did you self-study? You said you took it where?
I did self-study. I took some Udemy courses.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, right now I'm taking Udemy. I took a Udemy course, and I'm doing CBT Nuggets too.
The computer-based training. Okay, awesome. And you got your network certification?
Yes, ma'am.
No, no one will ask you to go backwards, because A plus, don't forget, is around, once again, hardware and software. It's two different tests. Your knowledge of hardware, your knowledge of software. You've already proven that you know the hardware and software, and you know how to make everything talk to each other. So you don't have to go backwards. It's like Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. If you can pass the Spanish 2 test, you know Spanish 1. But that is a great question. And if an employer really is looking for that A plus, I would guess, and it's just a guess, that they're looking for somebody a little bit lower level that needs to do primary desk support. And if you're doing network and security, you will be qualified for much more than that at that point.
Definitely.
Thank you.
you are welcome.
And so I got a question from Ariana in the chat and also from Daniel. So let me just read through some of these. So Ariana asks if Delgado will help coordinate internships, paid or unpaid, or help us become aware of such opportunities in the future. I can answer on the credit side, but for workforce, what are internships looking like on your end?
It's really, we're getting, so we're a new program. I started at Delgado in June of 2019, and we became fully staffed in January of 2021, December of 2021, with Kelvin as the director to help build it out. And so we don't have a plethora of opportunities yet, but for everyone that has reached out to us and that are in our programs, we have offered, like I said, the camp. We're looking at a small business fellowship with DXC, and we will have things off the ground. So for us, the answer is yes, we will keep you posted about future opportunities. We'll keep you posted about future opportunities.
And so I can just say for that, if anyone who's on the academic side, you're going towards a computer IT degree or a cloud computing degree, internships like an internship course is an option for you as your elective. So what that normally means, for some students, it's I want to apply for an internship course, and then as part of the course, I'll develop my resume and my cover letter, and I will also be helped into getting placing. But other students might be, you might be like, oh, I heard about, let's say Krystal comes and says, we have an internship place. They're looking for students. And you're like, oh man, I'd like to try it for that. And you get it. You can then just come to me and say, I have got an internship with, let's say it's DXC. DXC, here's the start date and the end date. Here's a description of the thing of what I'll be doing, and we can help you get college credit for it. So even if you go and get an internship on your own, or you do it through Workforce, you can always bring that around and get college credit for it.
For us, we are looking at the non-traditional learner and the career switcher is what we've decided to really focus on. And so we're going to be looking for non-traditional experiences as well. For example, our tech camp this summer was virtual and in the evening because we knew that people worked full time. And so we worked out a program where it was a week long and you could work in the evening because you had a daytime job. Also, our small business fellowship was going to be in conjunction with the academic side, to where if you did do that, then you could sign up for the course. But if you're on the workforce side, you could still experience it too. And it was going to be actually paid because it did require 20 hours a week, but still gave you the opportunity to go to school or have another job. And we're looking at, I don't know, I don't think it's going to be fall now, but maybe spring of launching that, actually launching that program. And again, the major government department that Kelvin was mentioning has very flexible, once you decide you want to go there, they work with you around your schedule as well. I'm reading in the chat too, Claude.
Yeah, I know we got a question from Daniel about resources to keep up to date with tech-related news in New Orleans. And Kelvin had shared a link to neworleanstech.com. I know
there's also some great meetups.
Yeah,
meetups. And we're starting a meetup. That's one of the things that is our goal, Daniel, is to start a real community that's discussing tech opportunities for beginners. But we have found several great Facebook groups, ones that I advertise our classes in. There's all kinds of New Orleans folks in tech, women in tech, Blacks in tech, crossover to tech, people that are looking to career switch. You put in IT, tech, there's all kinds of Facebook groups supporting people pursuing every certification you can think of. I would really get into a community because some of the questions are great. There's an in-depth discussion in I think it's Women in Tech, WIT. There's an in-depth discussion. I'll try to look for the group when I'm quiet and let somebody else talk. That is really looking at how to get out of support. How do you break out of, if you're stuck at the IT desk support level, how do you get the experience to show someone that you're ready to go to DevOps or into the consulting side or security? And I read because I'm learning these things, and how do we provide courses and programs that support that? Because it's been a week-long conversation about being pigeonholed. And there was another conversation around equity in tech. So I would definitely get in some groups and conversations. And then through that, I also see that people are like, hey, my company's hiring. My company's offering internships. I'll look for that Facebook one because it's really good.
Awesome. We had another question that segues into some of the questions. Actually, the pre-prep questions. And now I've lost where it is. Danielle asked, what is the cost of earning one of these certifications? And so, yeah, what is the cost, just certification wise? And if you guys can speak to, what would be the cost, and even maybe the how do you begin to get a certification through you guys?
Sure.
What that looks like.
Sure. Around costing, I know that the young man, it was Daniel that took Udemy. So the costs vary if you're out there on the internet, and you can see everything from, this coding boot camps that are, $20,000 and guarantee you certification and a job, down to individual courses. CompTIA certification prices are set for the testing. I believe Delgado has one of the most economical solutions in that, because of our grant, we're able to offer a live instructor. And it really depends on your learning style. And I know Daniel can speak to that, and the others too, that if you are good at self-pacing and can just purchase an electronic management system like Udemy that's moduled and takes you through it, then you can go on your own. And it's still a little pricey, but not nearly as pricey as a boot camp or most instructor-led programs, private schools like Loyola, UNO. Delgado, like I said, people call me all the time, or not they don't call, they're on Facebook and I say, is this a scam? It's so inexpensive. So our courses for about 170 contact hours are going for $399. And for any of you who have looked at CompTIA certifications, the exam alone for most of those courses is more than our tuition for the course. But we include, should you attend 80% of the course, do 80% of the work, we include a CompTIA testing voucher or AWS voucher at the end of the course and allow you to test. I see open enrollment period questions. Our courses are not termed in a regular semester. They're a lot shorter, and we keep them on a continual cycle. So our IT fundamentals, and we'll get to the course times and dates, but our next cycle of the 4-course suite, we call it our 4-course suite, starts September 13th. And it is virtual, but it's instructor-led. And our course is 4 nights a week, 6 to 9:30 for IT fundamentals. It's 6 weeks. So it's packed, but then you test within that next 2-week period as well, and get that certification and move on to the next thing. Somebody said Udemy has a sale. It's really random. They have the best sales. But then the next day you log on and it's like $700. And the next day it's like, get all 4 pieces for $29. I don't understand Udemy's marketing, but I do know that you can always catch a sale.
And I see Danielle, you raised your hand. Danielle, you have a question?
Yeah, can she repeat the time? You said it was 3 nights a week from 6 to 9:30, and you get a certification within 6 weeks?
It's 4 nights a week. And let me go ahead and put it up. I'm going to share it now just so we can talk about it. It's 10:51, might as well. Oh, can you enable me, please, Claude?
You're good to go. I got you.
Thank you.
Krystal, can I mention something real quick?
Hey, Tracy. Yes.
Hey, y'all. So this is Tracy, and I'm only mentioning it now because I need to log off to go do something else. So I'm the department chair over in CMIN, which we've been referring to as the academic side. And I do want to mention that depending on the class that you're taking, because Krystal mentioned that the classes that they have, the certificate is, the voucher for the certificate is included. That is also the case on the academic side in some of your courses. So you should maybe reach out. So the first person you should ask is your instructor, if they haven't already mentioned it. And most of the courses, the instructor should have mentioned it by now. But if you're not sure, if you feel like it's a class where it should have been mentioned, but you haven't heard anything, please ask that instructor. Or you can ask Claude, or you can ask me. My email address is tnking@dcc.edu if you do have that question about whether or not a class you're taking should offer you a voucher, okay, on the academic side. But we're great and happy that Workforce is here to talk about theirs, because you're going to get an added benefit if you take it with Workforce, because sometimes the way a class is structured on the academic side, it's not focusing on the certification necessarily. That's not saying it's not giving you valuable information to prepare you. It is, but there is a little bit of a difference between a course that's focused on taking the certification and something that's generally giving you information about that topic. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted Workforce to present to you their offerings. Okay, so thank you, Krystal and Kelvin, for presenting today. I do have to log on, but I just wanted to mention that to y'all.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy. And truly, if you're in a class that you think is preparing you to test, and I know that, I hope I'm not over speaking Kelvin, but truly Workforce and the business and tech department on the academic side are working together to make sure that people are prepared and have certifications. If there's a class that the instructor's saying, hey, they don't have the Perkins grant or whatever it is they need to offer vouchers, please reach out to Claude or Tracy, and they'll reach out to us, and we'll try to figure out a way to get you tested. I don't know that we have a testing scholarship program per se yet, but it is in everyone's interest to get you certified if you think you've got the knowledge. And Kelvin, we're headed that way, aren't we? We just don't have it. We don't have the guidelines yet.
Right, we're working toward that direction.
Absolutely. Not only that, if you take the course on our side and get certified in any of these 4 courses and decide you want to go on the academic side, Claude's the person who will make sure that you get credit for the corresponding course that would fit for your A+ certification. I don't know about fundamentals, but A+ for sure, network and security plus all aligned to course credit.
Yeah, we do everything. Like ITF is your 204.
ITF too, good.
A+ for anyone who might also be double majoring with the CNET folks, or if you're in cloud computing, A+ is aligned immediately to software support and hardware support. I cannot remember the codes for the classes, but yeah, there's loads of cross back and forth.
You just, as it stands, all you have to do is reach out to Claude or myself or Kelvin, and should you want to build a program where you're on both sides, it's new, and you may be our prototype for blending that experience, but it really is a goal of ours to have the programs well braided, hence us trying to co-brand, be on one another's lecture series, let you know that you have both opportunities to get this career going, because the demand is there, you guys, the demand is there. If you prepare, get your certifications and some experience, you do have a fruitful career waiting for you.
Miss Krystal, would you happen to know like the how long these certifications last? Like how often do you renew them? Or are they just randomly different?
That's a great question. Let me remind myself. CompTIA requires CEUs. Am I right, Claude? Or do you not? Let me look.
I'm not sure on CompTIA, but I know Amazon Web Services, those ones you have to constantly recertify.
Right. And then industry drives the change of certification. So that's something that's industry control, but there are CEUs with most certifications.
And also, another question, you said the voucher for to test for these certifications, what happens if you fail the test the first time? Do you pay yourself for a second test, or do you have to retake the course to take another test?
Now, anyone can purchase a testing voucher on CompTIA's website. And for us, we provide one free voucher one time. So because of the grant. So the grant will allow you one fundamentals voucher, one course, one voucher. You can always take the course again, but you won't get another voucher in the life of this grant.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. But that does not mean that you can't take every course and get a voucher in every single course we offer once. I don't want to confuse you. So you could take all 4 courses and get a voucher in each course, should you stay in compliance and keep testing.
Do all the prices are like $3.99, or just this one IT fundamentals class?
No, they are. And let me throw up the rest too. We
Thank
just
you.
haven't, the rest of them aren't up on our website yet, but we have our whole 4 course suite planned for the next year. And let me get that up for you. Fall course suite. Oh, she doesn't have all 4 of them up yet, does she? A second. It won't take long to do it. So let me do it this way. Give me 1 second. I know we're close to the end. Give me 1 second. Tech pathways. This is going to be real rudimentary, but I want to get it up. Screen 2. So if you look at the bottom, you guys, and we'll get the flyers out to you. Claude has committed to get you the flyers for each. Right now, this is what I can get up to you. IT Fundamentals is Monday, September 13th. They are all $3.99. And we'll send you the career roadmap too. IT Networking, November 8th, it begins. They're all Monday through Thursday, 6 to 9:30. They're all $399. IT Security is Monday, January 3rd, and Cloud Foundations, it starts Monday, March 21st. We will don't worry about writing these down. We will get them to you.
My little pen was just going to town.
What'd you say?
My little pen was just going to town.
No need. I'll get you each one along with the register button, and they're all available to register. And I'll have to get you, we'll get them up. They are all available in Xenograde. They're not all displaying on our webpage just yet, but IT Fundamentals is, and you can get in that immediately.
Thank you.
Somebody asked, I was going to say, no, I'm not. It's 11. I won't say anything.
I'll say if there's any other last minute questions. See, Jessica had asked the question. If I'm not available at night, are these same certifications offered in online classes also?
So no, they're virtual, and because of the pace and the way they're delivered, we do not tape them and allow you to go at your own pace. If you want to go at your own pace, Udemy or any of the other computer-based trainings, or log on our workforce side, and we have Ed2Go and several other courses. I know A+, there's an Ed2Go option. There are a couple more options. When we make changes to our program, we please some people and displease the next. And so we really are targeting people who are working and trying to career switch.
All right. I put out the last challenge. It was answered. So for those 2 individuals, congratulations. I put in Krystal's email address. If you can send her an email, letting her know that you were the ones that won, and we can get that started for you, okay? Thank you again.
Thank you all. These were great questions, and I wish you all the best in your careers, and I hope to see and talk to you more.